The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello. Welcome back to Changeling the Dreaming, Stained Glass, episode 6. Mm-hmm. Wow. We just talked about it behind camera and I nearly forgot already. I am your ever-effervescent storyteller, Maddox, and beneath me, but not in any social standing, is my lovely cast.
Hi, everybody. I am Mama McStabber, and I'll be playing Priscilla Rowland, also known as Esmeralda, the Aishu.
Hello there. I'm Evie Eternal, and I'll be playing Melody Rockwell, otherwise known as Lady Embra the Sheed.
Hi, I'm Cozy Core, or Unconscious Celestial, and I am playing Eva Oakley, or Very the Satyr.
Good evening, Changeling! I'm Jeannie Von Esch playing Honey Badger Swift, your red cap.
Hi, everybody. I'm the Ravenous Archon, and I get to play Oscar Holst, or otherwise known as Sir Radari, the Troll.
And our dear Cluricon Ace is currently dealing with the ever-present bullshit known as life. We wish Mischievous Red the best in the horse shit, and may it pass swiftly and without stinking up the place. Now then, when last we left off, a lot of logistics got done, really. Buying of furniture, negotiating of a design of a trap for a mage, and just a lot of busy work, really. But you need those episodes. Otherwise, the setup doesn't quite make sense when it's revealed. And we will be starting with a red cap, who we all know and love, pulling up to a house after receiving a text the night before. She gets up to the front door and, honey, how do you knock? Or do you just go in?
How early is it?
Let's say 7:30.
Okay. So
it's still fairly early.
Esmeralda comes up to the door and opens it, and she has a cup of coffee in her hand. Honey. Come in.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. Hi.
And I closed the door behind her. What's wrong?
Dad. She just hands the phone.
I take
over
it
to see the texts.
The contact name is would you put him as anything other than his name? Would you do his title?
You so do Sir Simon, blah, 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 blah. Yes.
Yeah. Sir Simon at Baylor. And there is a text asking her if she is free sometime this week for dinner.
And the pictures and everything.
And it says, as your schedule allows.
What do you do with that?
You say yes and tell him when you want to see him.
How do you do that?
X will use the phone and text. Tonight works.
Look, I faced a whole lot of shit that could have killed me. That's the thing I don't know.
I said, that's how you do it. Tonight works.
Okay, then what do I do?
What do you mean, what do you do?
What do you do on these things?
You go, you meet him, or he picks you up. But sounds like to me he's planning to meet you somewhere. You meet him, you have a meal, you have conversation. And if things go well, you might bang each other after. Who knows? But
you also hear from the
shoot him.
You also hear from the floor as you then look down and see Jolly, who is drinking coffee out of a bowl. Black. But he looks up and says, if you're gonna do that, at least show some skin, and then goes back to drinking.
Wait, bang. I mean, shooting's illegal.
No, not that. It's sex.
Ew. Why?
Oh, honey. Have you never?
No.
Oh, honey.
I've never kissed anyone.
Okay. Well, that's probably going to change because Sir Simon, the Baylor, yeah, the way he looked at you in the underground, yeah, no, honey. He likes you just as you are.
What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, I saw it. I clocked it. You see, everybody likes to stomp all over people with soft hearts, but we notice everything, okay? And literally...
All I know, she was talking to Ace about some weird shit.
Yes, but as he was leaving, okay, he looked at Ace only because he really needed to for Ace to be able to cut through the gas on him.
Yeah.
As soon as he was leaving, he looked dead at you and he was laser focused on you.
Why? Because of my hair?
Honey, if he's brave enough to ask you to go out, are you brave enough to do it?
Not really. I'd rather face a dragon.
I bet you he's less scary.
The dragon? Absolutely.
No, Sir Simon. Come on.
As you're trying to walk away, you feel something tug against the sleeve of your shirt for a second. And you see Jolly again. He did not stain your shirt with coffee because he's a very practiced drinker. But he looks up and says, I'd say, and he glances at Honey, maybe call the satyr too, just to have some
good idea,
emotional backup.
Good idea. And
look, she's gonna maybe get her a mug to eat or something. I don't know.
First, I'm going to take her to the kitchen and make her some coffee so she can have some coffee. And while she's having her coffee, I'm going to call Vray over.
Look, I haven't slept much. Between the alcohol and the caffeine, it's keeping me going.
Okay, what is going on? Because this is more than just some guy asking you out. What is going on?
Well, it is a guy that asked me out.
Well, yeah, I know it's a guy that asked you out, but what is going on?
I haven't been home since my uncle came back.
The fuck?
No, I don't know. No, they are not fucking.
No.
I know for a fact.
Why haven't you been home?
I have to face him because I found out he lied to me. As in, he lied to my face as he came through the door. The slua told me that he was actually meeting somebody he loved and cared about and not actually collecting shit. And then through the cameras, and because I have audio, he and the Cuckoo have been hanging out and wondering why I'm so pissed. And the cuckoo cuckoo is getting more and more nervous at my house. So I don't really feel safe there. But again, I had offered hospitality, so I'm allowing them to stay there. Crunch is actually being really, really good in watching them. And I'm either trying to get drunk and failing at that attempt miserably, sleeping on a table, or I'm in my office waking up. One of the two, or three. Was it 4? I don't remember anymore. Hi.
Okay, you stay here until I grab your uncle by the fucking ear and make him tell you the fucking truth.
Oh, please. He doesn't even know what the fucking truth is, I'm sure.
Anyway.
Hi. So, yeah, I will sleep on your couch if that's cool.
No,
like couches.
we have a room. Come, let me show you. And I'll take her into the freehold and show her to a room.
Oh,
Honey,
God.
what would be a good room for you to stay in? Like,
what would make Honey totally comfortable?
Like, what would feel
Here
just welcoming and something like that? And it's not what the character thinks, it's what would actually be comfortable.
Yeah, you're getting what it is. Gird your loins. So you would walk into, and I'm sure that the whole room kind of contorts to this.
Yes, it does. As soon as we open the door and it's your room, it opens into what you want it to be.
You're transported back in time to a lavender room with gray carpeting, a day bed that is of soft gray with, again, a lavender thing on top, pillows everywhere on the bed. Then you see a multitude of either stuffed unicorns, dragons, or some kind of fictional creature literally piled on the bed with a big, huge Cheshire cat that looks like it's her sleeping companion. There are rock bands, metal bands all over the place where Visigoth and the Visigeeks would totally go screaming because apparently she did all of that. On top of that, you see this big stereo and Metallica is playing. And it's not just the hard Metallica, it is the and nothing else matters. It's just slowly playing as you see several different lava lamps giving this multitude of vibrant rainbow vibes. And then you see one little doll from her childhood that's got a little if you actually pick it up and squeeze it.
You hear a quick whistle by your hip, Esmeralda, and you look down and see Jolly eyeing all the pillows, and you swear he licks his lips, but he doesn't go in.
As she just looks up, do not dare.
Oh, come on.
What? What do I do now?
No, Jolly. He's a mess. Go on. And
he gives, as much as a goat can, he sachets away.
of course he does. The crow is still on her shoulder, though, because the crow has manners. But yeah.
He's hanging out.
But she looks at Honey and says, "This is yours for as long as you need it."
This is my bedroom back in Joliet. How?
Guest quarters here provide exactly what guests need to be comfortable.
Oh, God. I gotta sleep on this again. Yeah. Okay, if I sob uncontrollably, I can't help it, okay?
You're free to do whatever you need to here.
We don't express our emotions well at all.
Oh, you're expressing emotions whether you realize it or not.
Yeah, this is pure panic.
Okay, first, you're going to take a breath. Now you're going to let it out. Does that feel better?
You feel like 2 taps on your shoulder from some talons, and you can see the crow giving you this look of, really? This is what you're dealing with?
What I do for my friends, what can I say? And
yeah, that caw sounded way more like a sigh. You're pretty sure.
Jolly, if Ray shows up at the door, let her in.
Speaking of, Ray, I believe you would arrive at this point. The door is answered by a goat. You're not sure how he opened the door. Sup?
I've been summoned.
You find it weird that we're both technically goats?
I don't think about it too much.
I think about it too much. So maybe we're the balance.
Okay.
Your apathy to my anxiety? I don't know. Anyways, the red cap gal's having a panic attack back that way.
Lead on.
Oh no, I was told to go away, so I'll just point you down the hallway. Believe me, just follow the sound. Just follow the sounds of unprecedented worry, and you should find them.
Thanks, Shawnee.
Anytime. And then he walks off to the kitchen.
And you can actually hear from behind a door in the hallway S trying to talk Honey down.
And the occasional, sometimes toned caw of a chimerical crow.
Yes.
As you make your way back to them, and you guys see Vray come around the corner.
Vray. Honey's going to be staying here for a bit. It's a long-ass story. Her uncle lied to her, like straight up. Lied. Soon as he got to her door, lied to her. So, yeah, that's a whole ass thing. And she doesn't feel comfortable going home. So she's staying here for now, but she got invited by Sir Simon out to dinner. And I have accepted on her behalf because she was so panicked she didn't know what to do.
I mean, do I just throw clothes on, or do I try and attempt to buy a dress?
No.
So Eva brought a box of donuts with her and goes, well, I guess this is warranted, and hands it to Honey.
She kind of opens it, offers it to S before she's like wanting to stress eat.
Go ahead.
Oh, good. Let's go.
Yep. The 3 donuts disappeared in a second.
S looks at Vray and I say, I don't see a dress for her. No heels. She needs flats. I'm thinking a nice pair of trousers that are comfortable but also look nice.
What are those?
And a nice blouse.
Okay, what's a trouser?
Pants.
Comfort is paramount.
Comfort is paramount.
Okay.
But show him you're not afraid.
Sure. Uh-huh.
He likes you, or at least he's interested in you.
That's scary
We
as
don't
fuck.
want to change you. We just want to accentuate you.
Well, I can accentuate myself by putting on my battle armor. I got chainmail.
That may be appropriate later in the bedroom.
You don't put chainmail in the bedroom.
Honey, would that seriously, would chainmail make you feel comfortable? Would that is that something that would make you feel powerful and strong here?
I don't know. Are we fighting him?
No, you're having dinner
No.
with him.
No. But just to have that as like a think of like a comfort item, if you will.
Okay. I mean, what?
There, trust me, there is a way we can make it work.
Okay.
As y'all are standing around, by the way, Honey, your phone buzzes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a response from Sir Simon. Fantastic to hear. Do you prefer Western cuisine or Italian?
What's the difference between Western cuisine and Italian?
A Western steer, steaks, freaking, steak and potatoes kind of shit.
Oh,
Or do you prefer Italian? Pastas.
I mean, it all really doesn't do anything. It just goes into this invisible hole in my body, and then there you go.
But do you have a preference? He's asking.
I don't.
Why not ask him? Turn around and say, ask him what he would prefer. If you don't really care, ask him what he would prefer.
Yes.
Kay, and she will start texting, great choices. Both of them are yummy. Do you have a preference? Because I can have both. AKA red cap.
Smiley face emoji, and then followed by another text. The Western restaurant has more options, but I know the owner of the Italian place, so we shall go for Italian, if that's all right.
She said Italian. Should I just say yes?
Yes. Yes. Say yes.
Okay.
Say yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. I think I may have some things that work. I do.
Okay.
Bray, please try to calm her down a little bit. I'm trying, and it's not going well.
And you hear the crow go, "Her," which you can clearly tell means please calm her down.
And I'm going to go actually into my grandparents' room because Honey is about the size roughly of what her grandmother was, but her grandmother was actually a very stylish woman, and she is going to find some clothes that may work for Honey.
So, you've never been on a date before, right?
Nope.
Has someone even asked you on a date before?
This is first.
But have you seen people go on dates though? Like you've watched movies? Do you watch movies at all?
I mean, I watch some movies, but they're usually the, how can I better, increase my performance in battle by watching all of the, good.
Sure.
Just don't watch ever, what was that one? Starship Troopers. That was such a bad battle movie. It wasn't even funny.
Okay. So I'm just wondering if there might be a reason for this fear.
Red cap?
That doesn't say anything. I know lots of red caps that go on dates.
Oh, right. For the past 10 years, I've been touring the entire freaking country, killing nightmares and being part of a task force to help eliminate the bad shit. So it wasn't until 4 years ago when I came back home, I actually had somewhat of a stable life. Kind of.
Okay, so this is just out of your comfort zone.
The closest relationship I ever had was me and my mom. And when my mom kind of got murdered and my uncle was long disappeared, I just never really formed any kind of friendship. You guys are pretty much the closest thing I've ever had to somewhat of a long friendship other than yeah.
Okay, I can empathize. I can understand this.
Yeah.
A lot of Ray just kind of pauses and just kind of like drifts off into thought for a minute.
Think of it this way. Think about it this way. Red cap, people stay away from you. People don't talk to you, touch you because they don't like you. And they're stereotypical. But it is what it is.
S walks in at that point and says, guess what? People tend to avoid Baylors too.
Fair, but he had shark teeth. That was really cool.
Yeah, it is. And I know you like them.
I agree. Yep.
I mean, the closest thing I've done to physical things is SA gave me a hug, and I barely accomplished to try and hug her back. I'm not very good with it. And
that's fine. If he's worthy of you, he will be patient.
Okay. Still think Dragon would be easier to deal with, but that's fine. Okay. I
bring in and I give clothes and I said, these should fit.
Okay. Where's the bathroom?
It's right over there in your quarters. You have a full suite.
At the exact same time as indicates, Crow also will point the beak the exact same direction she does.
And Honey will go into the bathroom and start swearing as she changes. Trying to figure out how to put clothes on.
The bird looks between the two of you remaining in the main room, like, what's next?
She looks at Bray and says, "Thank you for coming to help."
I will try. I don't know how much help I can be, but
She's practically like a newborn babe with this.
it's just out of her comfort zone. I'm gathering this is totally new, uncharted territory.
Yeah.
No experience at all or knowledge of it. At all.
God, my first date, I was nervous as shit.
Esmeralda, your phone buzzes.
Oh, mine does? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it.
It's from Oscar. Oscar, could you please say what that says?
I apologize if I wake you. May I swing by to try something new I have?
And she says, "Already up. Honey and Bray are over here. Come on by."
Emoticon of a happy
Texas.
face.
Emoticon, love it. And you are on your way and will arrive shortly.
Honey will slowly come out going, I think this is how you...
Here, let me help. And I come in and I help
Actually-
position things.
As you're doing that, honey, could you please roll a single die for me?
Oh, Lord.
I don't know. Can I? A single D10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh-huh.
What'd you get?
5?
5. Okay. She got things in the right position and the right order, but it's just, adjusting slight bits here and there so it hangs a little bit better.
Yeah, and that's what S will do.
She got it on correctly. It's not worn backwards or any shit like that, but it's not perfectly structured yet.
S will kind of tuck a few things and lift and shift and all that. Just be still. Let me do this.
Hopefully she's not ticklish, Jolly says as he walks back into the hall.
And then she basically flutters out the bottom of the blouse because it's kind of flowy from under the bust. And she's there. You look lovely.
I do?
Yeah, put your arms down.
And you see Jolly shaking his horned head back and forth.
You look beautiful, my unicorn.
Goddamn runway model. Ow!
I don't think I'm a runway model. I think the runway would be running away. Literally.
Still a runway model.
Fright. That's why I have stage fright. I gotta actually take my swords and stab the stage so it doesn't run away from me.
Well, this gentleman is not running away from you. He's running towards you.
I'm scared.
I know. But it's okay because you are also courageous. You have been scared before, but do things anyway because they must be done. Consider that
sense
this.
of duty.
Yeah, consider that this. You need to have this experience at least once in your life, honey.
Oh, I'm gonna live through this, right?
Yes, you should. And if he tries to hurt you, I will make his suffering exquisite.
Oh, if he does anything to me, I'll eat him.
Whatever's left, I will make sure suffers really well.
Okay, well then I'll just eat the bottom torso and you could deal with the upper torso with the head.
Okay, got it.
As you see Jolly sort of staring at you, you're grim in the morning.
I'm grim all the time. When did you just notice this?
Oscar's on his way over, so I'm going to go
God,
to
and
the
he's
door.
going to see me like this. I got to find a thing to hide.
You see Jolly walk into the room and then just come out dragging a blanket that was folded on a chair or something and just drops it in front of you.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Capes.
Jolly, do you have a crush?
I mean, I've crushed rocks under my hooves. Does that count?
I mean, I'm right there with you.
Walks out to go wait for the door.
Jolly walks to somewhere else in the house and he's whispering, oh, damn it. What's that song? Fuck, why can't I remember it? Lady Gaga. Oh, Bad Romance. Ugh, I'm caffeinated. I shouldn't be lapsing on knowing things right now. Sorry, folks. As I'm guessing, all of you a bit of time to just sort of chill with Honey right now.
Mhm.
Oscar, you do arrive. You are let in by a goat. He just gives you a quick nod, shuts the door behind you, and indicates the direction that the others are in.
How did you open the door with your hooves?
Oh, I didn't open it with my hooves. And then he walks away.
I never want to touch this knob. And I'll walk where he pointed.
It's to the door that goes into the freehold.
And shortly, Oscar joins the gaggle.
The gaggle. Really?
Yeah.
Well, not everyone from the Notley is here, so I had to say something else.
Yeah. I knock because I'm a gentleman.
Come on in.
Just as the door opens, my hand is over my...
It's fine. We're dressed. Come in.
Okay. I just... all the women were gathered, so I didn't know what happens.
As you say, we're all dressed. The crow on Esmeralda's shoulder freaks out and covers itself with a wing. But then after a few seconds, just puts the wing away like, that was fun.
There's another one.
Yes, I seem to be collecting them.
Just like Vincent.
No, not like Vincent. He's a broker. There's a difference.
Why isn't the she here if you're...
I don't know. Invite her over. Shit.
Pull my phone out. Just very simple, come to S's. And then the address.
Lady Embra, you have just been served a very decent breakfast from your attendant, who has also served herself breakfast and has just sat down. Her breakfast looks far less appetizing than yours, but food is food. As you get this text. You're also muted.
My mistake. I'll look down at my phone. Oh, interesting. I'll text back. Sure. Is something wrong? Or is there any more information that's come out?
In quotations, girl time.
Oh my goodness.
You see, do you inform Bella of like this conversation, or do you just say you have to go?
Bella, I'm needed.
Only a short time with you, and suddenly they can't resist your presence.
Oh, darling. Give her a smooch on the cheek.
I'll watch things for now and see if I can get some contacts involved. This investigation feels like we're hitting a wall, and I'm tired of it.
Understandable. Thank you, darling.
Take care, my lady.
I'll head on my way over to S's place.
All right. It's a little bit of a drive, but not the longest.
Yeah.
S looks at Radari and says, "What did you want to try?"
I have this ability now that I can talk to different things that are inanimate.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Oh, I wanted to ask some of your foliage or landscapes if they've seen this mage that is bothering you.
You can try. I tried with my porch. Didn't get much. Got a little bit, but not much. But you can try. Come on.
All right. Turn on my heels and go outside.
Yeah, and I'll go with him. And also kind of coach him through doing it a little bit.
All right. And it's still early enough in the morning. You don't have like neighbors out or anything like that, really. So.
And it's not like they wouldn't see her out with her foliage anyway.
Oh, is that a euphemism?
Hey, gardening is really easy for changelings because they can do weird shit and they just excuse it as gardening.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. So the question I have about Primal 1 is it says the realm determines what I ask the world about. So I don't need to have nature to speak to nature. If I'm asking like Herlon.
You need nature if you're asking about nature.
Perfect. So I'm asking about an actor, right? Because the mage is a human.
Yep.
Mhm.
Is actor 2 enough? Or do I need to spend glamour?
Pardon me, because I can't recall at the moment. What is the descriptive level of actor 2?
Ooh.
Because I know actor 1 is a close friend, but I don't remember what the second one is.
Should not have hidden my iPad. I think 2 is not a complete stranger, but definitely somebody that has been described to you.
So like acquaintance level or something around that line.
Yeah.
Because I can somehow remember the rest of the levels of that realm, but I cannot recall just the second one for some reason.
Yeah. Basic initiation tutorial allows the changeling to work cantrips upon those that she has personally met.
Oh, brilliant. It was just put in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And have at least a few minutes of interaction with.
Boss, coworker, neighbors, kid who picked on you at school, bartender at favorite bar. So you would probably still have to spend glamour on this one just because I think he's a little outside the category that you're working with at the moment.
Gotcha.
But it's only 1 glamour to spend for it.
Yeah. Just...
Also, just a quick question. Does the descriptor under the power for typing say chimerical or weird?
It's chimerical for primary.
Okay, so you only need to spend the 1 glamour.
Yeah. Yep.
If it's weird, it directly affects the actual world, so you need to spend glamour for it.
Yeah. No, most of my shit is chimerical.
Okay.
Same.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to use a willpower point.
Certainly.
And as a bunk, I'm going to take just a handful of the dirt, kind of make a face out of it on her lawn, and then I'm going to take another little bit, rub it against my mouth, and just let it fall out of my mouth very disgustingly.
You know what? I'll give you a -2 on that. That's a very odd thing to just do randomly. So yeah.
It is. This is like, what the fuck?
Welcome to bunks. They can be fucking anything.
Got a bunk,
dirty
baby.
hours.
Got a bunk.
So that reduces it by 2, making your difficulty for this default cantrip difficulty is 8, so yes.
Yeah, so 6. Okay, so with the willpower, that's going to be 2 successes.
Okay, which means 2 questions, but you must whisper them.
Yes. And
you're asking the foliage, you said, or her lawn?
The lawn. Yeah, the lawn.
Okay.
So I'll get down low next to the face and just put my face next to it.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time this mage named Peterson or whatever?
This is Peter Smith.
Peter Smith was here.
And there's no movement on the face, but you can still hear the whisper from it. And it replies, I'm not going to whisper for this, of course, but the voice then replies, when Esmeralda laid out the gold.
So I'll relay that to let her know that he hasn't been around since you called him out.
Yeah.
Which is good, I think.
Maybe.
What was the sound of his gait?
From the storyteller, what information are you trying to pull from that answer?
How does he sound when he walks?
Yeah, like is he a fast walker? Is he a slow walker? Does he hobble? Is he infirm in some way? Did he have like a cane, that kind of thing?
Okay.
Because that would sound very different.
You get back a single word on that one. Steady.
So.
And then the magic fades. And somehow the smile you drew in the lawn is not there anymore.
I'll get up and dust myself off.
wipe the last bits of dirt off your lips.
Yeah.
If you'd like to wash up, there's a restroom inside.
Thank you.
Yes.
I got a little bit, but it doesn't seem like he's old or infirm. He has a steady walk, which means he might be young-ish, our age perhaps.
How old are you?
Me or me? And I'll point up and then I'll point down.
You, as others see you.
40.
Yeah, I'm younger than that. And she turns and walks inside.
Well, as realizes and thinks how much you like learning about different unicorns.
Yeah.
Aggie and Doris are exceptions to Kith getting old. It doesn't happen as much as people would like.
Yeah, I know.
So the fact that there's even a 40-year-old here is he's pretty impressive specimen, all things considered, just from that.
Come on in, old man.
Another.
You hear a eerily accurate life alert beep go off, and you see it's just Jolly like side whistling out of his lips.
Oh. Who's fallen and can't get up?
I'm looking at him. Well, you haven't fallen yet.
And I'm sure Ember would arrive shortly after we get inside, and Houser's gone to clean himself up.
I'll make sure to walk up, knock on the door.
And Esmeralda lets you in. Welcome. Welcome to my humble home.
You then also hear from her hip, damn it, I should have opened the door.
Beat you to it.
Clearly.
You're sleeping.
Clearly. It's good to see you again, dear.
It's good to see you too. The others are over in my freehold. Come, I'll show you.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. I'll follow us, no problem.
And as you enter, it is, well, the house itself is very bohemian. It is eclectic. It has a lot of little treasures stuck in all kinds of places. It's very colorful. It's very comfortable. It is very much a Romani-inspired type place. And then as you go into the doorway that leads into the freehold, this is an Aishu fucking circle.
Oh my.
There is, as we walk in, we walk past a library that has multiple stories. We walk past a hookah bar. We walk past a wing with quarters. As leads you into the center, there is actually a round circle of seating for people to congregate. And over to the side is a balefire with a pool. And there is a balcony type deck outside that is painted in vibrant colors. Everywhere in this is colorful, soft fabrics, beautiful, rich textures. It is gorgeous.
Oh, your house tells 10,000 stories.
At least. Please make yourself comfortable. And you see Honey's there, Vray's there, Radari's there.
Hello. I'm surprised to see you dressed so, well, feminine, Miss Swift.
Is this bad? Did I put
This
it's
is
okay,
good.
right?
You look beautiful.
No, I think you look lovely.
You sure?
Yes.
Positive.
And you look like
Absolutely.
you, just enhanced.
It's also baggy enough that you can hide your armor underneath it.
That is true.
Very true.
I feel naked.
You're not naked.
Okay.
You can be later if you choose, but only with consent.
Ew, let's not.
Jolly quietly whistles the entertainer.
Goodness. What's the occasion, if I might ask?
She was asked out on a date.
Really?
Fancy.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Kinda, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Who's the lucky man?
It's yeah,
It's the Baylor.
Oh.
Sir Simon.
He owes me
I
a
noticed him
favor.
looking at you strangely.
What?
I told you.
Hey, Lady Embra, as a she, yeah, Baylor can do romance. They don't usually, so this is a interesting thing to learn.
Oh my gosh, there's going to be so much gossip at court. Oh, I'm so pleased.
Is that good or bad? Look, this is the
I'm
first time I've ever done this, so
Really?
Yes.
yeah.
Oh my
Why is this
goodness.
so hard to believe?
Well,
This may be a good way to earn more favor with him since he owes me already.
He owes you? Oh, that's right, because you did the wispy thing.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Well, I'm not going to try and get a boon out of him or anything.
No.
He actually texted me.
Yeah, I
Even
invited
better.
her out to dinner.
You might get a bone after all.
Why would I get a boon?
And that's just
after all?
elbows, Ridari. You're
Don't
a
worry,
dirty
dear.
old man.
Not bad for an old man.
I know.
Look, I'm not a 40-year-old virgin. I'm close to it, but I'm not that bad.
Well, make him work for it, dear. Make him show you
Look.
his truly romantic side.
Yeah.
Look, first date, maybe he'll get a handshake.
That's
Shake
fair.
something with that hand.
Dude,
Sorry.
I haven't touched a dude before except to
much?
kill them.
Hey, Oscar,
Yes.
how about you give me a quick willpower roll difficulty?
Oh, well, you fucked yourself on this one, my guy.
Fuck. Now teach me.
Yeah, no, it won't.
Is it current or permanent?
Permanent.
Okay. Because I did use one earlier.
And honestly, you know what? If you guys have any willpower spent before this day started, you can recoup it. If you spent it since then, keep it as you spent it. But you did recoup your willpower with a decent night's sleep. Honey, I know you didn't actually get a decent night's sleep, but you got the willpower back regardless if you lost it.
Appreciate it.
Would have been 4, but I got a 1, so I got 3.
3.
Oh, nice.
You can distinctly remember a situation that is vaguely specific. You were nervous. Oh, what if, and then something blurs in the memory that you can't recall what you said next. And then it immediately clarifies back. So it goes, what if doesn't say yes? And that one was pretty quick, and you come back to yourself. Also, because you got the success margin right, those willpower rolls are now reduced to difficulty 7.
Very nice. I like.
Dari, you all right?
Ever since Honey's uncle helped me, memories are coming more frequently, but less painfully.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah. So, just had something.
I'm glad he helped you.
Yeah, Ridari, we may need to go jerk a knot in his ass because he lied to Honey.
I don't swing that way.
I don't mean that way.
Oh.
I mean, teach him that it's not right to lie to someone to beg their hospitality.
No, this is true.
Jolly looks up and says, "Here, I can do street translation. Pop a cap in his ass and punch him in the mouth."
Oh dear.
That does sound like the
As
language that
a
he
former
uses.
kingpin, I know how these things work. Trust me.
Teach him some respect.
Look, all I know is he and what's his face, Poo 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 is kind of talking, and the Kakarakan is getting more and more antsy, and they're wondering why I'm mad, but at the same time, they're spending a lot of time together.
That Cluricon lied as well. I'm damn sure of it.
What was the lie about?
My uncle didn't go back for spare parts and stuff for his tinkering. He went to go meet somebody he loved.
Oh,
The Cluricon gave us a false name.
really?
I believe so. Vincent said he was not aware that there was any Cluricons named Taylor in Arizona in that court. He has connections there.
Esmeralda,
but I'm waiting to hear back.
Serendipitously, you suddenly feel the need to check your phone.
I check it.
And then a text comes through from Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
Spoke to several friends and contacts. No Cluricon named Taylor to be spoken for.
Yeah, Taylor lied. Taylor is not Taylor.
So who the fuck do I have in my house that I gave hospitality to?
I think a Cluricon that unleashed Wayfair and ended up in the fucking dreaming.
Certainly possible. But why would he lie then?
Because that Cluricon is the one that attacked the king.
You think?
Do we know this for sure?
That's quite the accusation.
Then why would he run in front of my? How would he get my uncle? How would he be involved?
That's why we need to go have a talk.
You gonna go like that, honey?
Yes.
I have a code if you'd prefer that.
It's gonna be cold on your motorcycle.
You can ride in my car.
It's fine. I ran it. I'm always cold at times. It doesn't really matter.
Or we can address that after we take a trip into the dreaming.
Right. We do need to do that.
There is a she that lives in the dreaming. Vray, you met them.
I did, very briefly. One of my Dragos was there as well. I don't know if I could take us back there exactly, but we could try.
Do you remember anything about the she?
Storyteller.
What are the current dots in your intelligence and wits? Just so I have a standard to work off of.
2 intel, 3 wits.
Okay, that should be plenty. Bald, salt and pepper goatee. Fairly tall. You'd guess maybe 5'10". And just somewhat stately. You'd also have known just from general looking that he was grump in his seeming. And there is something that you remember something else, but you can't remember that something else. But you know there is another bit of information that you can't quite pull up because the forgetting's a bitch.
Behind the scenes, just in case people go back and watch, I thought they were a she. Like, I thought they were feminine.
Oh, no. It's was
she, the Kith.
No, but just when talking like to that person, I thought they were feminine, not.
Oh.
How'd that happen? I'm just trying to remember like continuity. That's all.
I will admit I don't remember ever supplying female pronouns for that. So
Okay.
if you construed that, it wasn't my intent to communicate it that way.
Okay.
And if I did and don't remember, at least I don't retcon as much as DC Comics.
Okay. Okay.
S will call Vincent.
It takes a few rings and then hello. And he, just from that initial hello, you can already tell he sounds better than the last time you talked to him.
Feeling better.
Once Doug helped take away some of my penalty injuries. He said he would only heal smart people. Bastard.
Well, then I'm set. But anyway.
You hear a low, very agreeable but amused chuckle.
Thank you for that information.
You are so welcome.
Question. Do you know an old one of your cousins that lives beyond the mist?
A few. Anyone specific?
She gives a description, relatively nearby.
The only one that I could assume that would be is Lord Iago.
Thank you. Gonna go pay him a visit.
Oh. Don't stay too long. He is predisposed to being there. You all may not be so resilient. Just a fair warning. If you need more, his name is Lord Iago ap Danan of House Danan.
Yes.
They are traditionally seen as very good in glamorous environments and very hit or miss in autumn ones.
Yes.
So at the very least, you'll be meeting him when he's clear-headed.
Excellent. Yeah, planning to do that later. So, but thank you. Have a good day. And she disconnects. Yeah, so it's Lord Iago Aptanon.
That name ring any bells?
You have heard of Lord Iago. He's a member of House Danan that came to Denver a little while ago and then disappeared off the face of autumn, and people only really ever encounter him in the Dreaming. Most of the time it's near Dreaming, sometimes on the Silver Path. Most of the time not, because he lives nowhere near the Silver Path. But also travel in the Dreaming is weird, so he could live 5 minutes from it or 6 years from it. You're not entirely sure. As you hear the name Lord Iago, Vray, it does come back to you a bit more. A winter forest. There was a cottage, but a bit larger, but same sort of feel.
I remember the cottage.
There was decent hospitality, tea. You also vaguely remember a helper was how it was referred to, but you don't remember who or what, just helper.
As you brought it up, as Bray starts, yeah, I remember a cottage, and it was very welcome. I remember it being very welcoming, and I think he had a helper. I
Describe
don't
the
remember.
location to me, whatever you can remember.
Definitely winter. Lots of snow. It was cold outside, but not cold.
Forested, open.
Yeah, relatively forested, like what you would imagine a cottage in the woods kind of deal.
Excellent. That's exactly what I need. Okay. I should be able to navigate us there.
Good.
And Jolly leans in. And if she can't, y'all are fucked anyways, so.
Well, when
Yes,
we get into
I-
the Dreaming, everybody sit close.
Absolutely.
I've
You
heard that
guys are going to visit my alma mater. Love that.
I've heard that there's some quite off the silver path, so we need to be extra careful.
He goes and grabs her weapons just in case.
Yeah, I'll grab my axe.
I've always got my weapons.
I expect you guys to come strapped, locked, and loaded. Obviously, it's the Dreaming.
You actually, S will go back to her quarters, and she comes out, and she has a slightly ornate cutlass on her hip.
Oh my.
You know how to use that thing?
She immediately wields it and does almost a dance with it.
I think she knows how to use it.
And stops it right in front of Radari. Yes, I know how to use it.
It forms quite good.
You hear a very low bleat, and Jelly go, show off.
Just don't put it into Radari. We need him.
I just didn't see you as a fighting woman.
It's chimerical.
There's a story there then.
It was my grandfather's.
Hmm.
He also
Issue,
wasn't
there's always a
fond of
story.
murder.
Hmm.
So, from here, you all have several directions you can go in. You can, for a certain person, visit a train station. You have the option for those of you to maybe go check in on Aggie's progress, see if she's done with the cage or not. Or you can just immediately steamroll and head straight towards the dreaming. I will leave that up to you, my dear players.
S already grabbed her weapon. I think we're going to the dreaming.
Yeah, we're all here.
Yeah, she is going to say, Bray, do you by chance have some sweets on you?
I always carry something in my bag.
Excellent, excellent. Because as she looks at Jali and looks at her crow and says, yeah, chimerical creatures love sugar. Not to say all will respond to it positively. Some are weird, but most will respond to it positively.
Jolly looks up and says, and some will eat it and then still fuck with you.
That too.
Like me. Terror of the dreaming, they used to call me.
Nobody ever called you that.
You don't know. We haven't known each other the whole time I've existed. Come on.
My guy. No.
You like to embellish, my dear friend.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm as honest as the next puka.
Which tend to normally lie.
That's a stereotype.
And I will lead the group down the deck into a beautiful scene. It seems like you're outdoors in the springtime. The mountains ahead, trees, a lake off in the distance. And she leads you all down a pathway to an opening. And the opening, she says, everyone stay close, stay focused, do not look behind you. That's not where we're going.
Everyone get close.
And when everyone is close together, she leads them onto the silver path.
I'm going to use Wayfarer's Quicksilver with Fae, so it affects all of us, and time, so that it triples the duration.
If you're doing something that affects multiples, scene is the one you need.
Scene is one.
I have seen.
Okay. Just making sure.
Scene and time are being used.
And scene one would be enough because scene one covers a whole room and you aren't a room full of people. So
yeah. That's why I told everybody to get close. I'm using a willpower point for this, and I'm gonna spin around the group. I'm gonna run around the group, do a lap, and then do it in the opposite direction, and then kind of pirouette my way back into the center of everybody.
Okay.
To bunk.
I will say that's a -3, bringing the difficulty. Are you doing this right as you transition or before you get through the trial?
Right as we're in the dreaming.
That would make the difficulty, okay, -3, and then default difficulty is different because you're in there. Difficulty 4.
Okay. So 4 successes, 5 with the willpower.
All right. You all feel yourselves gain a potential for great speed.
It is a weird, so I'm going to use a glamour as well. Yeah, I'm using all the successes for speed.
Okay.
Instead of actions.
And Esmeralda is focused. She has the destination in mind. It is a cottage in a winter forest that belongs to Lord Iago.
And entering the dreaming is interesting. It can have many different reactions depending on how it's feeling in that exact nanosecond.
Mm-hmm.
For all of you, it feels like going through a very specific portion of a washing machine cycle where the laundry is rocked back and forth and sloshed all over, but not a full spin. This goes on for what feels, God, could be minutes before you find yourselves seemingly just from natural travel in something of a winter forest, but not a natural one. The trees aren't bark. The leaves aren't leaves. And yes, there are leaves. As you see the trees on either side of the silver path, and the only distinction from the path and the environment are thin, almost small threads as a border on the silver path. Everything else looks completely seamless with the environment. The trees are ice. Every facet, the leaves, the branches, the bark, everything seems to be ice. Very clear ice. So you can easily see many dramatically splashed and arced sprays of blood frozen within the trees. Esmeralda, you are standing on the silver path, looking ahead. It is down into the forest. You don't look behind because you said you wouldn't.
That's right.
But for any who would, you see the exact same thing as it just goes off. You are in the middle of a path, even though you started at the end of one. And Esmeralda, you need to turn left off the silver path almost immediately.
I will follow, and I will keep looking forward.
And you guys watch as Esmeralda steps over
with me,
the hairline. You all can feel glamour change around you. The silver path has ancient pacts connecting all the chimera in the dreaming. You are protected so long as you do not cross the path, and they cannot cross the path without paying a penalty for it. Crossing the path on your own removes that protection. And it's a little nebulous as to when that protection might return for you. So know that by stepping over this line, you all are welcoming yourselves to get fucked with potentially.
Absolutely. Have your defenses ready. Let's go.
And as you all fully immerse in the dreaming, allow me to share with you a couple things that have changed for all of you. The following rules apply while in the near dreaming. It's easier to cast cantrips. The base difficulty changes to 7. Anything chimerical becomes solid and fully tangible in the dreaming, including companions, voile, which is your clothing that you crystallized into, and your fey means. For Esmeralda, her eyes sharpen. There's more of a glint. Her ears point just a bit more. Honey, her lips crack and fully reach up to your ears now. There is a bloodshot fury to her eyes, and if her mouth is open idly for even a second, you guys are staring at some of the sharpest things in existence. Oscar is, well, you already know he's tall, but he's actually tall now. Fully blue, horny as all hell, a perfect peak of a troll. Even if you're not attracted to physicality, Lady Embra is a little hard to not stare at. As her ears lengthen to a much more elven point than before, and her features only accentuate further. Lady Embra, you also feel the oppressive weight that banality applies to you vanish as soon as you crossed the threshold of the Trod. And you remember something that all Arcadian Shi remember when in the near dreaming. I'm better than everyone. As your kith frailty changes to a social difficulty when interacting with commoners. That'll be at a +3 difficulty until you leave the dreaming.
Pain.
And be careful if you go further. Ray, your horns accentuate and become very, very perfectly curled, set exactly the way you would have styled anything about yourself. Your hooves click firmly against the stone, snow, and ice on the ground. And yeah, you all see yourselves not layered on top of your human selves, but fully your Fae means recognizable.
We are truly Fae here.
And a certain goat and crow also look very, very tangible.
Mm-hmm.
As you also notice that the lovely bird on your shoulder seems intent and focused. Jolly seems like himself. And as you all head further, I believe we'll take a break. And welcome back after just entering the dreaming and then having to immediately step off the silver path. Our Notley has now traversed for what you all feel is a good couple hours through this ice forest. And you are seeing chimera. There are albino squirrels. You see the odd deer, but you know in your heart of hearts it's not a deer as it runs past you. Just little things. Sometimes you catch movement just in a random ice bush, or you swear you saw eyes through some of the snow.
Don't let them distract you. Stay focused. We are trying to get to the cottage.
Of course not, dear.
And as you're walking, the environment does start to change. There are some trees that look thinner and a little more rounded and less tree-like exactly, more approximation. And then as you get further still, you notice, oh, they're not losing detail. They're melting. So now there are starting to be drips and there's very little snow on the ground as you continue. There's drips between both water and blood as the trees start melting. And the further you go down the direction Esmeralda is leading you, the more and more warmth seems to take over the cold, as it were. And Vray, you have the weirdest sense of deja vu. As it transitions, it doesn't transition to anything in a gradual way. It goes from slightly melting ice and blood trees with a couple blinks, and suddenly you're you all blink a few times and you're walking. For those who have been in any office building and they have the cubicles that are all the same material, same design, and same setup throughout an entire floor, those cubicle walls are lining everywhere. It's like you're in a too short maze of cubicles. Like you can see where paths go and where they cut off. So it's not like it's stopping you, but it's still very noticeable that you are not in a natural setting anymore. Although the dreaming is unpredictable, so who knows exactly what you're seeing.
Are we still going the right way?
As your course hasn't changed.
We are on the right course. Don't let it distract you.
Yes, the dreaming shifts and shapes itself to distract. Goodness, how very strange.
Could I also get a quick perception alertness from some folks?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Whoever
Hell
wishes to
yes.
roll. And get your specialties out now.
Yeah, small changes, baby.
Detail-oriented.
That'd be one. They're basically the same specialty with different wrapping.
What difficulty we're looking at?
I'm also going to spend a willpower.
Gotcha. Difficulty 7.
What was the roll again? Perception and
Alertness. Not to be confused with perception craft.
Just one.
And I apologize for the screaming old man. That is my cat.
No. This sermon is fantastic.
I am currently the only one inside the household, so I'm the only one he can bug.
Yeah, 5 successes.
Okay.
I had a cascade of exploding 10, so I have 9 successes.
All right. So real quick, just to make sure that I got it right. Oscar, you said 5.
5.
Honey, what was the number you said? Sorry. 3. And then Vray got the same. Embra had 1. And then Ez had
9.
some bullshit. Yeah.
I had 2 10s,
Just
and
tracks.
you must have had more.
I had 2 10s, but one kept rolling 10.
Ah, damn.
Sometimes you get lucky. It's annoying as shit. I will go in ascending order. Embra. There are some noises you can't place. Whispers. Something scraping against glass, maybe. It's hard to make out specific details. You're a bit focused on how awesome you are at the moment. For those with for those with the 3 successes, there are whispers on the wind. Honey, you hear, it's not your mother's voice. You'd recognize that. But the whispers are saying things that your mother would have said to you. Affirmations, kind words. I miss you, come here. Vray, you hear the voices of all your Tragos at once with similar things. And anyone else's voice that you feel you would have a deep connection to. Esmeralda, you hear voices whispering. They do not sound like him, but you know the way your grandfather spoke. There's also a voice you know you should recognize, or a speech pattern you know and feel you should recognize, but it is entirely foreign to you. But it's more of the same. Things like, I miss you. I wish you were here. I want to be family again. Oscar. Radari. You also hear something whispering. For this one, it does have a tone of voice. One that you recognize, but you can't place. The voice reminds you of a feeling of being punched by an iron fist in a velvet glove. And it almost makes you want to smirk. Like you're enjoying it. But it's more of the same. I miss you. Come back to me.
We shouldn't be paying attention to those whispers.
Not at all. And S will actually swear in Romani and utter a curse under her breath for the creatures doing this. And she knows that in the dreaming, curses have power.
The whispers don't seem to stop, but they don't intensify.
Mm-hmm. Ignore it. We move forward.
And until those whispers stop, you all have a +1 difficulty to rolls involving hearing.
Mhm.
And you've also noticed that in the time it took you to realize that there were voices, the dreaming changed around you again. You're now in... The closest you could describe would be an animated version of Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. There are colors rolling across the environment. It seems like a natural setting of just a trail through a field, but the certain peaks and valleys and trees, and it's a little like the way people poorly animated drug trips a long time ago, where the light was too intense and everything's neon and flashing. None of you feel like it's a photosensitivity issue, but it is slightly nauseating if you focus directly on the environment too much.
Oh, this reminds me of something. I should probably use this to help protect at least one of us from this. I am going to grasp up a bit of snow, and I'm going to just take a big bite of it as a bunk.
Let me double check one quick thing first. Okay. You take a bite, and it is the most spoiled flavor of wine you have ever tasted in your life. It's horrid.
Goodness. And then I would like
I'll
to...
I'll also give that as a -1 bunk.
I would then like to use the hardened heart, blowing into my hand and then pressing it into my chest. This mist which deadens my emotion, which makes me resistant to the various mundane and supernatural emotional effects.
You all watch Lady Embra do something, and those of you with high empathy notice it the most obviously.
I have 3.
People cannot turn off their emotions, and Lady Embra clearly just did that. Her face is placid. She seems neutral. There's no smile. There's no worry. There's no nothing. She's almost a robot in a way.
Luckily, I'm not paying too much attention because I'm focusing on trying to keep this group safe.
You travel for what feels like an hour, 2, 4. After 10 hours of walking through this kaleidoscopic bullshit, the environment in a few blinks changes once more. You are suddenly in a forest again, a much more average-looking one. Squirrels, the occasional bird flying overhead. The only thing that marks this as still truly glamorous is the raging river of glass. It is all shards. You can hear it's very hard to say, but a glass sound, and it moves rushing. There is also a bridge that arcs over that river and onto the other bank. Standing directly in front of it is someone in a suit of armor with a spear in their right hand. You cannot see inside the armor, but this person is at least as tall as Oscar.
This is a guardian.
Oh, is he?
S will approach it. We seek passage.
Resonating from deep within the armor is a voice that responds.
Do you have the toll?
What is the toll?
1 truss or something interesting. Or I also offer admittance by combat. Fair warning, I will kick your ass.
Does anyone have a dross?
Honey will pull out this small little chainmail mesh and pull out what looks like a wooden coin, and she'll hand it over.
The toll.
And there is a very clunky and jerky motion as the left hand first lifts up and then flips over to hold out for the coin.
And she places the coin inside of it.
The fingers then roughly and suddenly jerk closed, and then it drops back down, and then it sidesteps to the side, and then motions with the spear down the bridge.
Walk quickly. Sometimes the river splashes.
Thank you. And I would say that she turns and says, we need to walk quickly. Come.
Let's move then.
And from your previous perception alertness rolls, since I will just utilize what you already rolled, Embra, this is an interesting thing. Beyond that, feels fairly common, so why bother? For those with the 3 successes, that armor's not filled out. There's a lot of space inside. You can just sort of tell from the way the voice is echoing. For the 5s and above, there was the tiniest bit of a mousy nose poking through the slats in the helmet. You guys saw a mouse somehow piloting a full suit of armor.
Mm-hmm.
And your journey continues, now through a much more normal-looking forest.
And I still have the cottage and the Lord in mind.
You do have to slightly redirect, but for the most part, you're going in a roughly straight direction.
Mm-hmm.
But it, like any path and any journey, there's occasionally a twist in the road or things of that nature. There's also no actual distinguished path for any of you to walk on. Most of the time, roads that show up in the dreaming are the Silver Path, and that's mainly it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it is a street off the path, it's not a normal moving in one direction street. But the forest is starting to come into a more summer sort of temperature. And Esmeralda, for a quick moment, you feel the need to stop.
I will stop.
You're in not a clearing exactly, but there are a few less trees in this particular area that you are in. You do also notice that several chimera are peeking out of trees and staring at you all, but just seems like an idle curiosity of, ooh, what are these things here? But you do also hear something approaching from up ahead.
Something's coming.
They're rhythmic steps, but determined. And it sounds fairly large.
She places a hand on her cutlass.
And seemingly cresting over a hill, just a little ways down further from where you are, first is the enormous set of antlers. Followed by a very long, almost deer head, but it's got a very small bit of pink on its nose. As it continues to walk, you see it is dressed with a simple sort of leather smock. Its arms are thin, but its hands seem slightly larger than they should be. And then as it continues to walk, you see its feet are that of a bird's, 3-toed in the front and 1 in the back, with very sharp talons. It approaches, holding its hands sort of like this, and with each walk, you see its strides clear a decent amount of room. Oscar, this is the first time you've probably had to look up at something in a while. This thing is at average, you'd guess, 10 feet tall.
Massive.
And it stops about 5 feet from you guys.
My, aren't you magnificent?
Why would you say that?
I have never seen the like.
Its very long hand reaches down from its very long arm and holds it out to you in a handshake motion.
And she will shake its hand.
And it could probably wrap its hand around yours a couple times with the size difference.
Mm-hmm.
But the shake is polite and gentle, but firm. It then offers the same to all of you.
Right? Shake its hand.
Same.
Are you all lost?
Actually, no. I don't usually get lost.
That's very fortunate. Many get lost.
Yes. However, we are on our way to see Lord Iago.
I can take you there. Iago likes me.
Does he?
And it does smile. And you see that it is not deer teeth underneath.
What
They're-
kind of teeth are they?
Think needles, but teeth instead of metal.
Okay. I am going to do a bullshit check on this creature.
Sure. What bullshit you checking for?
Vibe check.
Checking to see if fucker's lying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perception, empathy.
Sure.
Thank you.
Diff 8.
I will spend a willpower.
Certainly.
What is your name, my giant associate?
I have forgotten it sometimes.
But
You
you
can
remember
simply
it.
call me Big.
Does my detail-oriented apply for picking up like any tells?
I will say no, only because this thing is very unique in its shape and might be
you.
hard to read initially.
I got you.
You'd probably have to spend time with it for that specialty to apply.
That is 4 successes because I did get one that wiped out one of my success. Actually 5 because I took a willpower.
As far as you can read, it's being honest. Excited even, but honest.
Then lead us to Lord Iago.
Of course. And it starts walking backwards the way it came.
And we will follow because that is forward for us.
And it does do like a quick check around at all of you and stops and looks at, well, not stops, but like stops looking on Vray. Good to see you again.
You too?
You know this thing?
I think so. I don't.
Kind of feels familiar. There's not
Yeah.
much coming up. No, we met the last time with you and Phronos.
Were
You
you?
both visited.
Were you the helper?
I am his helper.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
And no doubt he is lucky indeed.
I've been here for... And it doesn't answer and then just keeps walking.
Time holds little meaning.
Do you all like refreshments?
indeed. Do you?
Of course. I'm quite partial to something that I'd heard about from the autumn.
And what was it you heard?
Kool-Aid.
Oh,
Oh, that is
It's
good.
very good. It's very sweet.
it is very sweet.
You also see that it reaches out at one point and you see it very quickly snatch something off of a tree and shove it down its mouth. You
Mhm.
did not see what it was. 90 years. That's how long I've been here in the dreaming.
Wow.
Took me a second to remember.
Such a long time.
Oh, it's very short.
Oh, it is.
Have you been with Lord Iago this whole time?
No, I joined up with him. Oh, what's the word? Handful of years ago. I almost said belly full, but that didn't feel right.
That's too many years.
At least 50.
At least 50.
I agree.
50 years would be a good meal. And you all see that it's starting to get like still a forest, but as you progress, it is getting not cartoonish, but there is a certain vibrancy that is suddenly being applied. The greens are green, the browns are brown. It's almost like things are starting to take on an almost cell shading sort of look. The textures are starting to be pastel, but also neon at the same time.
It's beautiful, as if it were hand painted.
Oh, yes. I believe Iago likes these forests, but his favorite is when the dreaming mimics a painting he likes. Something with stars.
And then he has very good taste.
And then suddenly your guide and bumps their head on the back of an archway built out of wood with a wooden fence connecting around it. And you see on the archway, there is a very simple 4-letter word carved into wood. IAGO.
It seems we've reached the place.
Thank you for guiding us.
Are you all right?
Oh, I will take you to him specifically.
Excellent.
Don't want you getting lost in the yard.
Thank you.
And Oscar, this thing reaches out and pats you on the shoulder. Don't worry, Blue. I'm fine. And turns and heads in towards the property.
Well, I suppose we'll follow in.
Oscar, you feel something like a phantom nosebleed. Just for a second. As you approach, there is still a decent amount of property that this fence encapsulates, and distance is a little hard to gauge in the dreaming as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you start to see more plants that are still plants and lively, but they're definitely chimerical. Things that are producing odd fruit, or the leaves are shaped in weird ways, stars, triangles, things like that. And as you get further in still, it becomes somehow more bizarre by just being a regular herb garden. Although it's with rosemary the size of like juniper bushes and things like that.
Fantastic.
And down in the dirt, facing somewhat to the side, you all see in a tunic, a simple pair of trousers, and some nice leather cuffed boots, a bald she. As he turns after having put what looks like a wildflower that is throwing off sparks into the ground and patting the rich soil around it, he turns and looks up at you, and you see that any dirt on him or his clothing is more the way Hollywood makes people look dirty. It's very artful and frames him in a very specific way. As he stands and claps off the bits of dirt from his fingers, and they are completely clean. You don't even see any under his nails. As he strides forward and gives a acknowledging nod to Big, who then nods and walks past him, goes into a cottage. And it's an actual cottage, only slightly bigger, but very much in that style. And it looks cozy, and you can even see that the windows are open, so he's letting in natural air, whatever the case would be for that. And it turns sideways, crouches down, and fits through the front door, and then shuts it behind itself. Iago then stands, brushes himself off and looks at all of you.
Lord Iago.
Oh. Welcome to my home, many strangers and Vrevari.
I am Esmeralda.
Lady Embra ap Fiona. I'll hold out my hand.
I've heard of you. And he takes it and gives a quick kiss. It's very polite, and he's somewhat reserved. And he turns next to Honey.
Lady Honey Badger ap Scathage.
Really?
No,
I haven't
I'm
met
lying.
one
Of
of your
course
I haven't met one of your house in some time. This should be entertaining.
we tend not to come in here.
Servidari ap Gwydion.
I have heard of you.
From where?
I lived in Denver for a time.
Oh, Snappy might know you more.
Do people not know of him?
I don't know of me.
Got knocked in the head.
Ah,
Oh, it was more than that.
Being nice.
from what
Kinda.
I've heard, there is a troll knight whose name is Radari, Manticore's Bane.
That might be me.
I have come because in my travels, many kith around the world are telling tales of how the dreaming seems to be in distress.
He, as you say that, he reaches up with his ring finger and like runs it back and forth in his ear for a few seconds. Yes, that would be correct. I am not certain what is causing it to do such. I can only work off of hearsay and hunch, as it were. Has there been anything dramatic or upsetting happening to humanity recently where you are? That can often have a large impact on this.
But on a global scale,
Truly.
everywhere I have been.
He snaps his fingers and the front door to his cottage opens. Please, come inside. And he heads in. And crossing the threshold, his outfit changes into what looks like a smoking jacket and some very nice silk pants. It's very much an evening wear sort of thing. And then some very comfortable looking slippers. And inside is exactly what you'd expect a cozy, welcoming, warm cottage to be.
I can tell you, Las Vegas, New York City, and Seoul, Korea.
Would you all like something to drink or eat?
Please.
Of course.
We appreciate your
Thank you.
hospitality.
You are my guests. And you all can actually feel the dreaming react like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
There is a slight ripple around you. Welcoming. He walks into the kitchen and you hear a quick muffled conversation. And then he comes back out and sits in what seems to be a very comfortable chair by a window. Small nightstand on the side with looks like just a coaster and then a simple lamp. Which is interesting. Technology is not usually a thing that works normally in the dreaming. But looks like the lamp is plugged into a wall in an outlet. And then Big comes out wearing still the leather smock, but then over it is an apron that says "Kiss the Dreaming." And there is a silver tray with these drinks that are bubbling the way like boiling liquid would, but looks vibrant red, sort of like grenadine. And then sets them all on a table in the center And Big then gestures to all the chairs around.
Esmeralda will have a seat, and she will take a cup.
A suit.
Jolly just sits next to you as.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a cup from me and Vray and sit down next to her.
And for those who take sips, what would you say is your character's favorite scent specifically?
Vanilla.
Jasmine.
Rain.
The drink has no flavor, but you smell it as soon as it passes your lips. Sniffing the drink itself, it smells like nothing. And it's cool. Boiling, but it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
What a treat for the senses.
Big takes a sip and you just hear it mutter, cedar.
Ray politely takes a sip and just kind of whispers, hibiscus?
I can ask some of the denizens if they would know more. It may take me some time. Are you willing to wait for a while? Could be minutes, could be years. Depends on how long I'd be gone.
She looks at her crow. Could you be messenger?
Huh.
And she looks at Iago and says, my companion here will relay any messages you wish to send to us in the autumn.
Suitable. And he holds his fingers out and the crow sort of glances at you.
And she nods.
Flies over and perches on his fingers. You're an interesting one.
I tend to collect interesting ones.
You've collected an extra interesting one. And he sets the crow on his shoulder.
Why do you say that?
I cannot speak for your companions. However, I live around Chimera to a massive degree. I've been known to recognize them. This isn't a chimera. You see Crow just look and go, huh.
Then what is it?
Not a chimera. That's as much as I can glean, but I guarantee you, this thing is not a chimera.
All right, then.
Friendly enough, but not chimera. Same with, and he gestures at Big. Also, not chimera.
No,
More
Peculiar.
in its case, I'd say more half. This one is not at all.
A familiar, perhaps.
Her. And you see Big sort of staring off into space a little bit when he mentioned not a chimera. Esmeralda, you said you have how much for perception?
I have 4.
And the detail-oriented. Oscar, how much perception do you have?
4.
Okay. And yours is the small details?
Small changes, yeah.
I want to also pull on my remembrance. I would have to know something like this.
All right.
I have 3 in that.
If I'm remembering right, that's the pool that you have to roll, and it helps you tap into levels of various skills that I believe your past selves would have had,
Mm-hmm.
whether you have them or not.
Right.
So first, let's see how good you are at. For this, let's say it's a roll of intelligence. Oh, that's a tricky one. Gray mare.
Hey,
Might as well go for the mystical knowledge skill.
I've got 3 in Greymere.
Oh,
Well, now you have 6.
Now I have 6. Okay, so I get to roll 3 more.
Remembrance adds on top of that?
I believe so.
Ooh.
If that is not how it works, I will simply correct it for next episode.
Yeah, that's how I want it to work from now on. I'm gonna start remembering a lot of shit.
And was my difficulty 6?
7.
Okay. That is 4 successes.
Okay. Yes, you have heard tale of, well, for things that are half chimera, you've definitely heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Not chimera is weird, but it has happened. Things get turned into things, and the dreaming loves to do shit like that. Sometimes it's as mundane by the dreaming standards as reversing someone's gender or drastically altering their form to be an animal, things like that. So it's not outside the realm of possibility, because everything's possible in the dreaming. But it's more of a nebulous concept than you're initially thinking.
And she just gazes at the crow.
The half chimera part, you know pretty solidly.
Mm-hmm.
That's how everyone says the Kith Wappeltinger came to be. They were chimera who became Fae.
Fascinating.
You see Crow just look at you. Ah.
I can't help but be curious what you were before.
And the head bobs again. And with your high empathy, you can tell it means, yes, be curious.
Mm-hmm. And she looks at Big.
You also would have noticed that Big's eyes glazed over in a way you've seen before. Reminiscent of the way Oscar seems to remember.
Did you remember something, Big?
No. Tried.
Mm.
Fell flat.
It's tricky.
Takes practice.
He does it a lot.
It doesn't help that he is a very distracting hunk.
Who?
You?
I don't think so, but thank you.
Also, are any of you, your characters rather, decently familiar with the works of Shakespeare?
Yes.
High school.
Oh, yeah.
For those who are, in the play Othello, he has a confidant, someone that is the antagonist of the story, who lusts, pines, whatever you want to call it, after Othello's wife.
Iago.
Desdemona.
As you've sat there for a bit, he's giving off that exact character. Esmeralda, you're detail-oriented.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird seeing the living legend Merit from the outside. But you can recognize Iago from Othello very readily. You seem to be staring.
Apologies. I'm used to you being the one who gets the curious stares.
If it helps, you have nothing to worry about. I don't even know any Moors. And his smile is set beautifully. His laugh is melodious. And you can tell this is a she who has been a she for a while. He is a grump. There is an established stateliness to his existence.
And I don't know any hunchbacks.
Beneficial.
Oh. These are jokes about your names. I get it now.
No, it's not just our names. We are the legends made manifest.
It is both a narrative existence as well as an obnoxious one.
Yes. But it serves purposes sometimes.
Indeed. I find that I am rather decent at seduction. And you can tell he's disappointed that he's good at it.
There are worse things to be good at.
I cannot fault you, but I cannot come up with any in the moment.
At least you're not talking in 11 syllables.
I feel I would have taken my facial out so it could move on to someone else if that were the burden I bear.
I appreciate you being willing to investigate this further. Truly. My friend will be a good companion for you for a time.
And I will make sure that he's well cared for and uninjured.
I do appreciate that.
You have my word. And there is an immediate ripple that pulses out from him when he says that. Because an oath in the dreaming is
It's
noticeable as
serious.
shit.
But I fear we cannot stay here as you can.
By the way, you all feel... Do any of you have any temporary banality?
No.
No.
I got nightmare. Can we get rid of that?
Nope. Nightmare is, if anything, encouraged in the dreaming.
Oh, I don't want any of that. No, thank you.
But I'd also say it's been a decent enough time for you all to... And it's an individual experience for however you feel you would feel when this happens. As each of you feel one of your permanent banality hook out of you. As the dreaming is not banal. You've been here for a long enough time for it to loosen its hold. So yeah, reduce your permanent banality by 1 each.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Weight on the chest as light as a feather now.
But we should be returning.
I will have Big see you to the end of the property.
Thank
Very
you.
kind.
And it
Thank you.
stands.
And S actually takes something out of her bag as we exit and go towards the edge of the property. Once we are at the edge of the property, she will actually crush some eggshells on the ground. Do a bit of movement, walking on them without breaking them.
You're a dancer. That's well within your ability.
And she is summoning the Silver Path. It is a Wayfarer trick.
Ah, I see now what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Does that require a roll?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Quick question. What's your glamour rating?
My glamour rating is 6.
Gotcha. It'll take you a second.
Mm-hmm.
As you all are watching Esmeralda perform this small ritual, Big does lean in. And as you hear this too, you're all close enough. You all were talking about Shakespeare.
Yes.
I love Shakespeare.
You know about it.
My favorite is Much Ado About Nothing. I even have a favorite line. I would rather my dog bark at a crow
Hmm.
than hear a man say he loved me.
Lady Beatrice.
Oscar, let's roll willpower, shall we?
Oh, motherfucker.
That door just opens and you just walk right in.
I'm a theater kid. You can't quote one of my favorite plays and I
You
expect me to
can't
be
do
like,
that to a theater kid.
Tragedy of Othello is my favorite Shakespeare. So I'm just like, and Iago's my favorite character. So I'm like, oh my God.
A permanent willpower, not current, right?
C.
Okay. This is difficulty 7 because it's a memory.
Mm-hmm.
2 because of a 1.
2.
Hmm.
2 specifically.
2.
Like once the ones are resolved.
Yeah. I had an 8, 9, and a 10. So
You lucky son of a bitch. How about you remove that amnesia flaw, Oscar?
oh shit. Okay.
As so much comes flooding back to you. So much. Her name is Mari. Your Wuppletinger wife.
Oh.
Her favorite Shakespeare play was Much Ado About Nothing. Her favorite character, Beatrice. You know for certain you're looking at your wife.
Big is my wife.
Big is your wife. And a lot more is coming back too, but it's all scattered. It's hard to keep focus in the dreaming. And the last thing that happens in this realization is something everyone sees, as something crawls violently out of Oscar's ear, and a full-grown troll drops onto the ground next to you, stands, and it is Oscar. He is cracked, worn down, chipped away. The only way to describe the thing in front of you is ruined. And it looks furious. And I think that's a great place to end this episode.
Oh.
Your wife's a half chimera. Oh my God.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
Yeah. And Oscar, every bit of information regarding your wife is now readily available to you. And more memories will probably come back once you cross back into autumn.
Okay. Now, I got to have a conversation with Big. So,
yeah. I want to thank the audience for joining us for this episode of Stained Glass. Been sitting on that for a bit of time now. Yeah. I was wondering when that was going to come up.
Oh my God.
Folks in Twitch chat are like, son of a, come on.
There was an old show with puppets called Between the Lions. And one of their character skits from that was something I loved as a kid for the jingle. Cliffhanger hanging from a cliff.
Yeah.
And that's why he's called Cliffhanger.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for this session of Changeling the Dreaming Stained Glass Season 2. This was episode 6 of this season, y'all. Join us on our Discord where Maddox cast this game from because he posted up a casting call. Right now, there is an active casting call in our casting couch for a Vampire V5 game run by none other than Junie Von Esch. Yes, that will be streaming soon on Saturday evenings after Call of Cthulhu when it runs. So definitely check that out. You need to be part of our Discord community to apply to play at our tables. So make sure you're part of us there. And If you would like to catch back episodes of this stream or catch any episodes of our other streams, you can do so by checking out our YouTube channel, which is linked in chat right now. Also, we have Call of Cthulhu and D&D 5e on the Ishvel channel. That is where our amazing European GM, Dr. Tiss, stores her videos for perpetuity. And we have amazing friends within our community that play at our tables, that do amazing things all on their own. Junie, what you got going on your channel?
Well, you can find me everywhere. My channel right now, I'm a little bit on a hiatus because of some real life stuff, but you can normally find me either bitching and stitching, drawing, aka making merch, or just blowing up things in games. And then, as said, sometime Saturday, on some Saturday evening, I will be telling a story about vampires in Chicago.
All right. And Ravnos Archon, what you got going on?
Hi, everybody. I do TTRPG stuff on my own channel here on Twitch. Slowly getting back into the swing of things. But I used to do a 3-day week, and now I'm thinking I'm going to take a revolving day off. So I'm only going to be streaming twice on my channel. But you can catch me here whenever I'm on Changeling or on Dark Ages, or when I finally get to unleash Mage on people. Delicioso.
Delicioso. Mage will be coming in the new year. It's actually going to kick off our WAD Wednesdays in the new year. So yeah, look forward to that. All right. And Mischievous Red, who is unable to be with us tonight because life happens and sometimes we have to step away from our games to handle life shit. Missed you, babe. Looking forward to you being back. She also streams on her channel where she plays video games. Right now, I believe she's doing Final Fantasy XIV on there because they put out a new expansion or whatever, and she's loving it. So go check her out. And of course, Rolls. Is in our Call of Cthulhu game on Saturdays. He is also in our Kansas City Domain Divided V5 game on Fridays. And he does some amazing content on his own channel for TTRPG games. Seriously. And soon-ish, I will be playing in a Call of Cthulhu game on Sunday afternoon evenings with him. Yeah. And that'll be fun. It's going to be insane. Yeah. And all right, if you would like to get some merch, check out the merch link. Make sure you are signed in if you check out Zazzle, because we do have some adult rated merch due to language, like our Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would Camp Counselor t-shirts. Yeah, they're pretty badass. But we got some other fun merch too. You can get stickers, you can get notebooks, you can get, t-shirts, you can get posters, you can get all kinds of shit there. Do check it out. We are still working on merch for this stream, but it will be coming. We are going to have Uncle Oski for fucking real. Yeah. Oh, now we know he married too. Oh, Lordy.
I guess I need to put a ring on that finger.
Woo! He married too. Go take your wife back home.
That might make a she mad.
You know what? Sucks to be him. He's stuck in the dreaming.
Never hurts to ask.
He said he hates that he seduces. He must have seduced her and he hates it. But anyway, if you would like to support the amazing crew here at this table, Maddox and the rest of the players here, you can do so by showing off your biddies. For real. We do bits and donations. We distribute amongst our players after taking out the taxes that are charged on those because, Uncle Sam likes to get his cut. And if you would like to support the studio, you can do so by subscribing here on Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription a month. You might consider giving it to us so it doesn't cost you anything. Or you can donate to our KoFi page, our coffee page. Buy Mama a coffee. She works hard to entertain you. Buy Mama a coffee. And of course, coming up over the next week, we have Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Kansas City, Domain Divided, V5. Yeah. Callum was busy doing errands repaying a favor to another venture in the city. But the rest of the crew, yeah, we got our freak on last week.
Yeah, I'm still into the episode as I sit there. I'm like, this started so quickly in this episode. God damn.
It was so good. But yeah, so anyway, so we're going to pick up from there, and we're not going to be able to tell Callum anything about it because he wasn't there.
That's why secret societies are horseshit, people.
It's going to be great. So that's at 8 p.m. on Friday. Whoever's playing Call of Duty, are y'all... They're not playing? Okay, they're not playing Saturday. So Saturday, we do not have a game. But coming up next week on Tuesday, we actually have... Okay, they might be playing. I don't know. I should know better by Friday. But anyway, tune in Friday for Kansas City, and at the end, I'll give you an update on the schedule. But Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we have our Monster of the Month game, and it's going to be Sibling Shenanigans. It's going to be Junie Von Esch and Ravnos Archon, and then it's going to be Psychoshire and Sailor Lanhi. It's going to be the sibling pairs together, running
Naked
amok.
babies.
naked cherub babies.
Jesus.
In Monster of the Week, yeah, that's not anything that's telling.
And he thought his sister was bad.
Yep, so that's Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Things are going to be heating up because the end of the series is actually going to be October, so things are escalating at this point at a pretty rapid rate. They're going to be ending up in October having the showdown with the big bad. So it's going to be intense. You don't want to miss it. And then, of course, we'll be back here Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern with episode 7 of season 2 of Changeling the Dreaming Stained Glass. And y'all, fucking drama, and I love it.
As your storyteller, and I mean this in as many ways as possible, it's all downhill from here.
Of course.
Wonderful.
Of course. But yeah, and that's it for the schedule. So, yep, do tune in to what streams suit your fancy, and we would love to see you. Now, to lead us out, please take care of your mental well-being. It is very important to do so. Very important. Recognize when you are dealing with too much. Seek out support if you have it available to you. If you do not, right now in chat, if you are in crisis, there are organizations that have numbers that you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if you need that crisis support. And if none of the numbers that we share are adequate for your needs, or you are outside of the U.S. or watching us on YouTube, you can go to findahelpline.com. They have helplines for over 140 countries. You can search by your location, find what you need, and get the help that you need. We want you around a long time, for real. So take care of yourselves. And also take care of your physical well-being. It's real important. Because as one goes, the other go. Mind and body kind of work together, y'all. Make sure you're getting your checkups. Make sure you're getting your physicals done. Get your fucking vaccines. COVID is still a fucking thing. Yeah. Gotta love how in the summer it ticks up again. And again in the winter, around the holidays, it ticks up again. So yeah, get your vaccines, please, please. And drink your water, take your meds, get some sunshine if you can. And also, please make sure you are registered to vote. Make sure you check your registration to verify that it isn't restricted or basically purged, because that is something that is already going on in Republican-controlled states with Democrat voters. So do check your registration, please, and get it corrected before you have to vote, because they tried to do that as a form of voter suppression. And it's real important that folks vote blue down the fucking ticket. real fucking important because the House is up for all of the seats are up for election. We need to get Democrat control of that. And we need a Democrat president. Doesn't matter who they fucking run. We need a Democrat president because we cannot have Trump and fucking JD Vance in power, period. Said with love. Y'all have a good night.